Everyone, welcome back to Catabolic Window. Today we're going to talk about the Oblivion remake. Just get straight in.
Arguably the best thing to talk about on a bodybuilding podcast.
Well, I was thinking we could also make fun of that time that Dr. Mike did a hamstring curl.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think this podcast, we just could, based on what people want, we just turn into shitting on people.
Yeah. Very positive influence on the industry we are. I like it.
Yeah, let me pull up on the hamstring curl. I remember people reposting it, being like, "Yeah, this is so fucking cool." No, it's not.
What, as in it was good? It was good reps.
No, do you know the one I mean, where he's screaming?
Let's
on
talk about Oblivion first, so we don't like scare off the audio listeners.
You want to talk about Oblivion first?
Yes, mate. This is way more important than Dr. Mike.
Sorry, Mike.
Mate,
yeah,
I think I agree.
To be fair, apparently, so today's meant to be the day that they release something to do with Bethesda's website.
Well, it leaked last week, didn't it? That
yeah, but they were also meant to do something about. There was meant to be a teaser or something today.
Yeah, so it's like 4 p.m. today they're doing it.
Oh, 4 p.m. Where?
Yeah.
Where are they?
They're like doing a live stream, so it's probably going to be like Todd Howard talking about it and showing us a trailer. And then spoke about this loads though, that he wants to do like really short release cycles for games, like as in market it like maybe a couple of weeks in advance, because otherwise what happens is you're like, oh yeah, this game is coming out in a year's time and everyone sort of forgets.
Yeah, agreed. I think I remember him teasing ES6, and that's been 3 years ago now or something.
Yeah, I know. Well, they did it when they were releasing Starfield. They like did the trailer.
Yeah.
To show everyone that like, oh, okay, we're not just like completely cancelling Elder Scrolls. Don't worry. But Oblivion's a good game to do it for, because people have played it and they know what it's like. They know how good it is. So like if they were to say, okay, guys, I can't decide if I feel like he might just drop it today. Like they might do the release and then they're like, okay, it goes live at 5 p.m.
Mate, I really hope they do. I really want to play it. I like this idea of like just really quickly like capitalizing on momentum. Like, because it was like Oblivion Remix coming out and everyone was like, oh my god, and then they're like, oh, we get details in a week's time, we get details in 2 days time. Like just the quick rapid like ramp up, like get word out there and then just fucking like bomb it out there. I think that's the best way to do it.
If they release it today, I think they planned the leaks.
Oh yeah, they definitely did.
You know what I mean? Like I think they purposefully got it to go live. They purposefully got the Xbox stuff of like it's going to launch on this day.
Yeah.
Because there's no way there isn't something in the chatbot that goes like, if somebody asks a question about a game that isn't confirmed yet, don't say the release date. You know what I mean?
I think a lot more leaks are faked than people think, or they bank on things leaking. Like they kind of know that people will leak them and they're kind of okay with it.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, because I feel like stopping a leak would be very easy. You would literally just like, can you imagine if you're a Bethesda employee and Bethesda sued you, like for leaking? Like, because they easily could. They could just sue you for leaking a game. They could fire you and sue you. You'd be absolutely fucked against Bethesda. So I feel like they could quite easily not have people leaking from that perspective.
Yeah, it would not be ideal, would it?
No. Anyway, okay, I've got a funny video from Dr. Mike.
What? I wasn't finished.
Now you are. Look at this.
Oh god. There's just no universe in which he isn't strong enough to need a chest support.
So I'll stop sharing to kind of encourage us to talk. We spoke about this previously, and we spoke about it with Nicholas Walker. There is a trend of people using weights which just objectively is just far too little for them, and that's not even me and Luke trying to be like Billy Big Bollocks. Like their weights, they're weights that like me and Luke could maybe get a decent amount of stimulus off of, but you have to bear in mind we're talking about like people with like 100 pounds plus more tissue than us, who are using a weight that we can just about squeeze on by with. It's ridiculous. It's really weird. Where do you think this kind of comes from, this trend?
Potentially an over focus on sensation.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm still annoyed. I want to talk about Oblivion more. Can we circle back to it?
All right, fine. Fuck it. This podcast is no. All right, let's talk about Oblivion.
We'll come back to it. We'll come back to it. Yeah, I think it's an over focus on sensation, and they're worrying about like, oh, I don't want to go too heavy. Want to make sure the range of motion's really good, controlling it, that sort of thing, and then like really, really squeezing it. But there's sort of a spectrum of it where you go like full bore, load, like training like Mungo sort of thing. And then there's like squeezy using the pink dumbbell reps, and you need to be somewhere in the middle of those, and it will be a little bit different for Jack than it is for me, and it will be a little bit different for you than it is for us. But finding that amount where you get a really good connection to the thing that you're trying to train, but also like are clearly fucked afterwards is probably what you want.
Do you remember in lockdown Joel Seedman doing the like body weight curls, like just moving his arm and body weight laterals?
No way.
Do you not remember this?
No.
Oh mate, so he was like, oh yeah, if you want to like get the most out of like your lockdown training, so you literally just do a lateral and he just like blast it out like a lateral to the side, and obviously he's like flexing his delt, right? And eventually you will fail. Like if you try and keep your delt as stiff as possible and spam out laterals and really focus on contracting your delt, you'll get to a point where you can't stop. But my point is, you can make literally no weight difficult, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're actually stimulating any growth or creating any level of mechanical tension. Like, no, faster.
What do you mean?
Move quickly, fast, concentric, while like flexing it. He was actually like this. Oh fuck, it hurts.
Oh my god, that's terrible.
I know, but the thing is, it's like you can fail with literally no weight if you focus a shit ton on sensation. And just because you've exhausted something doesn't mean that you've necessarily trained it appropriately. And yeah, I definitely agree. I think a lot of we saw this a lot when like RIR and shorter mesocycles were quite popular, is people repeating using the same weight over and over. And I think that causes a lot of issues as well, like where people would like, you know, work their way up from like 90 kilos to 100 kilos, and then the next meso they go right back down to 90 again, and it's like that's not really the purpose of what we're trying to do.
And they then say that it doesn't work based on applying the thing wrong, when in reality it's maybe you want to work from, you do 90 to 100, and then you do 95 to 105, and then you do 100 to 110.
Yep, exactly. It's kind of similar to programming as to what you would do as a powerlifter, where like you deliberately kind of like work your way up to some kind of like maximal week, either in terms of like effort or load or whatever, or a mixture of both. Then you chill out a little bit and then you come back down, but you don't go right back down to where you were before. Like week 1 of block 2 is not the same as week 1 of block 1.
Yeah.
But for some reason people make it the same, and then yeah, they complain that it doesn't work. It's kind of the same as if you were like, oh, JP training, that's one really hard set, okay, so I'll do that, but then you never progress it, and then you'd be like, oh, this doesn't work.
Training like JP doesn't work, but then you also don't train like JP.
Exactly. That's the one thing that used to make me laugh about Christian. He'd be the amount of times he'd take the piss out of people who'd inquire. They'd be like, yeah, I do JP training. Shut the fuck up. No, you do not. You do not do JP training. And what the fuck is JP training?
They're like, I only train like JP as well.
Yeah, I just do what he does. He just puts stiffs back in. I'm putting them in as well.
Absolutely. Do you remember when you know the sort of fixed like shoulder width grip pull down bar, the one that kind of looks like a shit horseshoe? I remember the week when he first did that, and like literally next week on Instagram, everybody did that exercise. It was hilarious.
Yeah, I think thing is JP, like, I think if most of his audience talked to him, they'd stop copying what he's doing. Or I think a lot of people wouldn't really like copy him as much. He doesn't want people to copy him. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think a lot of people would be surprised what JP would say. Like if JP knew that you had deliberately changed out an exercise because he started doing it, he would call you a fucking idiot to your face. He'd be like, you are a fucking idiot, because he's a very blunt man. And also that's not really what he stands for. Like if he rotated an exercise every time he watched like a different video of Dorian and he was doing something differently, then, you know, he wouldn't keep anything in. But again, JP stands for like, hey, I train what works for me and I keep doing that. And like, do you remember when he did like that debate with Dr. Mike on a podcast? And they were like arguing very similar points where everyone expected both of them to be at each other's throats. And they were both like, well, I can see how your method would work. And I can see where you've kind of come to that conclusion. And they both were like, both Mike and JP said, if I train like the other person, I would not be as big as I am. And it's like, well, yeah, fair enough. Like Mike tried training hard.
They agreed on 90% of stuff. It was just exactly how much volume they think is ideal and how intensely you should train. But they still both agreed that you should do like what we would consider as a reasonable amount of volume, somewhere between 6 to 15, 20 sets sort of thing. They both agreed that you need to train pretty damn hard. Like people that make fun of reps in reserve don't actually train hard, because 2 reps in reserve is still hard.
The thing that people forget is people who train RIR still have a failure week or multiple failure weeks. And I think most people couldn't hack doing those weeks, because it will be like 5-6 sets on the same exercise, like a leg day failure week on RIR, or like a kind of the way that like RP do it would be like 5-6 sets calves, 5-6 sets of like seated ham curl, maybe a hinge, 5-6 sets of like a hack, and that's your day and you're fucked, you're done. Like most people cannot hack doing that. And the thing is like people that are RLs for pussies, and I'm like, no, you know, they still have to fail, and they fail with a hell of a lot more volume than you. They just don't do that all the time. That's really the difference. Is like what JP does is emphasizes intensity and then focuses on how much volume can he do. Mike will emphasize how much volume can I do, and then slowly ramp up intensity until that volume doesn't work anymore. But
that's a really good way to put it. I like that.
Thank you. But they both pretty much do the same thing. Like if you averaged it out over a year, they are very, very similar. But both training methods you have to be smart with and apply appropriately. And when people don't apply them appropriately, that's where we start to see issue. When people just train hard and they train sloppy, or they don't progress. When people just do RIR but they don't train with intensity or don't progress. Again, or they train with, you know, too much focus on execution to the point where like they are creating failure within a muscle just by overly contracting it rather than like, and just depleting it rather than actually training it. I think that's when they're, you know, causing themselves issues. But if you look at a lot of high level training, it's a mixture of like, here's roughly however many sets I can do. I roughly train pretty much to failure, if not a little bit off. But yeah, people love to fucking get into camps, don't they?
Oh yeah, for sure. Pull up Brian Shaw's page as well. I just saw a good video there when I opened Instagram.
Oh yeah. All right.
By a good video, I mean a bad video.
Is it this one here?
The row, yeah.
Stacking bricks.
It's a cool machine.
What the fuck are we doing here?
It's a very good.
This is way too light, Brian.
It's for arm wrestling. He's doing apparently.
Oh my god, that's such a fucking tedious row setup, brother. Is he practicing trying to like explosively yank his opponent across the table? Are they banded? He's banded those. Holy shit.
Oh yeah. So he's made a short and focused exercise harder in the short. Interesting.
So I'm assuming what he's trying to mimic it, because part of arm wrestling is kind of like you do like row them across the table, don't you? Kind of pull them in towards you.
Yeah.
Assume he's trying to mimic that, but not very effectively. He's just kind of getting aggressive and yanking at it. This is very.
It almost looks like he's trying to shoulder them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. The thing is, he is moving so quickly. He's bringing the plate towards himself and bringing himself towards the plate just to shorten it as much as possible.
Now,
See, now-
what we've got to bear in mind here is that he's training for something entirely different to what we are training for, to be fair.
Yeah.
And when you're doing like fairly similar to a Olympic lifting there, or like plyometric stuff, the second the speed slows down even a little bit, it doesn't make sense to continue, because you're trying to be as explosive as physically possible. Like, he's not going to grind that out until he can't do any more reps.
Absolutely.
But if that was a bro bodybuilder's attempt at trying to grow their back, we would have a lot more to say.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. I think I would still tweak some things about that for arm wrestling. But you know, yeah, explosivity.
The machine's cool, but it needs a seat, man.
Yeah, it does, and I don't. The handles feel like so fucking. I don't know. They just feel a bit pointless and just a bit whacked on.
Yeah, love you, really, bro.
Brian, you're £400. Please don't hurt me. But yeah. I even like this, right? I like the way that he curls, in that he brings a lot of other things into it. Because for arm wrestling, it's not going to be pure elbow flexion that you're undergoing. So I quite like what he's doing here with like shoulder flexion, not quite fully lengthening his bicep, having a bit of motion at the is there a little bit of motion at the wrist? Maybe not, but a bit of motion at the shoulder and the elbow. I think that's smart.
The only concern I've got with not lengthening the bicep is that if he loses, he's going to have a lengthened bicep. And if he's never exposed himself to that, that's going to be problematic as fuck.
Yeah, agreed. Here we've got a contraction-focused wrist extensors, which is really interesting. It's quite fucking strong, to be fair. That is quite impressive, especially that control. But I quite like this. This is cool, unique setup. It does a unique thing. Arm wrestling's an interesting one. This is a classic. What's it called? The fucking like a something roll. This shit.
Interesting.
Big in arm wrestling. He's meant to curl his wrist in a little bit more. He's doing a lot more back than he is arm. He's kind of trying a little bit.
Yeah, it looks a bit. Yeah, can't lie.
But yeah, I mean, arm wrestling is a very interesting one to train for. Oh, I like this.
Have you seen that Ian Valier's doing arm wrestling again?
No, hasn't he? That's how.
Yeah, he's going against Devin Larratt, which is the guy that broke his arm like 10 years ago at the Expo.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, mate, go to the C-Bum's brother-in-law thing. Look at that, man. That's hilarious.
A monster. It's on the toilet. It's got fucking. Is that a little ciggy or something? That does not look like.
No, not at all. Did you see the piss take reel he did of the influencer dude?
No.
I'll go down.
Oh, was it morning routine?
Yeah, the morning routine one.
Where?
What I sent it to you. It was so funny. Oh, it must have been higher up than this, because that was in January. It wasn't.
This picture is so funny. Look at Chris Bumstead.
Yeah, I know, man.
I remember listening to Paradise on Fire and hearing the stories of like Ian, Melissa, and Chris when they were, fucking like in college or whatever.
Yeah, so for anyone more energy than us, find Ian's morning routine video. It was hilarious. He just like, instead of the sparkling water, he just dunks his face into like Monster and then makes cream of rice with his Monster. And oh, he smashes it. He fucking smashes it. Honestly.
How many Olympia spots, like placings, do you think Devon cost him by tearing his tricep?
Ian's triceps are still pretty good, aren't they?
Brother.
His side tricep was really good.
Yeah, but his actual tricep isn't.
Yeah,
he's even said me firing shots. He said it himself because he said because of the tear. He's got that huge fucking. Like again, even in off season, there you go. Look, it's just he's got mass to the arm, but there's just not that much tricep.
Yeah, I know what you mean. The arm's big, but it's not like tricep. It's just arm.
It's like Marcus Rule.
Okay, yes. Yeah,
it's like Marcus Rule, but it's even on both sides. It's already a tissue that he definitely struggles to grow. But I mean, his arm is a lot bigger than mine, but I feel like my tricep hangs off more than his. But I feel like
Yeah,
that's also,
maybe a couple of spots. I see what you're saying.
yeah. He's got big arms though, big fucking arms. He's focused on arms a lot of his career. And yeah, it's just never huge.
How it goes, man. Just how it goes when you get injured, isn't it?
This is the thing, man, is if you train like a bit of a weapon, you're gonna get injured eventually, and that is gonna cost you in bodybuilding. Because if you tear something,
Mungo.
there's a did we talk about the epidemic of like quarter rep pressing on this podcast?
I feel like we might have.
Okay, fair. I won't go on about it. It is weird though. That's what I'll say. Oh, here we go. Here's the morning routine. That's all I'll say is it is weird that he.
That's a little fat to start off.
It is a weird that he's got a cigarette in, smoking it through my lip. It is weird that people keep half wrapping presses. I don't really know what's in the air about it at the minute. I like that he's woken up at 2 p.m.
Yeah, the faces while he's pretending to have a shit is hilarious. What does he search for again? Oh, conspiracy theories. Yeah,
he's searches for conspiracy theories. This is going to the kitchen to make his bowl of monster. Man, he's got some fucking monster in me today. Holy shit!
What conspiracy theories do you think are real? Like ones that haven't been blatantly proven?
Oh, okay. There's a good one from South Park that I like. Oh no, okay. There's two. There's two that I like.
South Park always hits the nail on the head, man.
So the first one from, have you seen the conspiracy theory episode where they talk about conspiracy theories in South Park?
No, what episode is it?
I don't know. It's the whole episode's about fucking hell, Ian. The whole episode's about conspiracy theories, and I genuinely think there's some truth to it, but like it's a bit of a piss take. What they were saying is like the government wants you to believe conspiracy theories, like the US government in particular, because the idea that the government is powerful enough to orchestrate all these fakeness, and they've put chemtrails in the air, they've put fluoride in the water, they're so meticulous with their planning that they're going to fuck you. But in actuality, they're just a group of old people who are fucking clueless. But if people out there are saying that they're doing all this malicious stuff, it makes them sound organized and smart. And so the theory is that like all conspiracy theories are bogus, but the government lets you believe them and kind of like spreads them around and maybe encourages them because they make the government not just sound like they're just clutching at straws. It makes them sound organized and like they're doing things, even if it's negative, which I genuinely think there is some truth to. Because if you think the government, they do like fuck all. They're very unorganized.
Well, you see this with the Doge thing, where like it's been exposed that loads of the government records still aren't digitized. They're just in a old lime mine somewhere.
Yeah, it's dumb.
And you're like, so these are the same people that managed to kill JFK and keep for half a century, and also managed to be mastermind 9/11, and also managed to kill Martin Luther King and just like loads of shit like that, fake the moon landing. But they can't figure out how to digitalize government records.
Yeah, well, I mean, off the back of that, it's like the government can either admit that there was not enough security in place, that someone could hijack a plane and hit 2 buildings, and there was not enough security in place, and someone could kill the president, and oops, we fucked up double. Or if it's like the government killed JFK, the government did 9/11, it's like, okay, those only happened because the government did them and the government allowed them to happen, rather than being like an oopsie. It's almost like it's like if you fuck up a client's plan and you're like, no, I did that on purpose, I meant 20 sets instead of 2 sets, and you just roll with it anyway. Like I feel like that's fucking I'm losing my train of thought here, but like I feel like that's the thought process, is like the government would rather make you believe that they're always in control, if even it's malicious, rather than admit that like, yeah, the system is that fragile that people can just come in and fuck shit up a little bit, you know. My favorite one of those that I believe the most is the Roswell alien crash, right? So
Give me the synopsis.
Do you know about the Roswell crash?
I do not.
Oh, mate, this is quite a famous UFO case. Maybe I'm a bit of a weirdo now. There's this big supposed alien crash in Roswell. I think it's New Mexico in America. It happened during the Cold War, I believe. And like there was supposedly like an alien autopsy and footage from it, but the government kept the whole thing very hush hush or whatever. Area 51's linked to it, yada yada. A lot of ufologists believe in Roswell and think something happened. If you go to Roswell, New Mexico now, there's like all sorts of conspiracies there. There's things that will sell you stuff. Fucking hell, it's a big tourist place. You can buy aliens, you can buy all sorts of crap. You can go and visit
aliens.
Like a blow up alien and like alien merchandise and stuff.
I was gonna say, if they outlawed slavery, they should probably outlaw the selling of aliens.
You can just buy an alien. You can buy Gleek Law, right? But it's a common one where it's like, oh yeah, man, the government's covering it up. Now, I had this pointed out to me like 4 weeks ago, so this is fresh in my head. But they were like, okay, so an unknown aircraft crashes during the Cold War, and the government covers it up. And conspiracy theorists are like, oh, I bet it's an alien, and the government was like, you might be right. Sure, why not? Fuck it, because they don't want word to get out that like, oh, a new sophisticated form of technology that the US is playing with against Russia is getting leaked. They don't want people to discover what the technology is. They also don't want people to know that it fucked up and crashed. And so it's kind of like like they got caught with their pants down. Someone misunderstood it and they were like, oh, maybe. There have been a few times where the government has like dropped hints and stuff towards New Mexico and New Mexico records and Roswell and that incident and stuff. But again, the reason, they're like Area 51 is a test ground for like new technology and like fighter pilots, and people are like, oh no, it's where they keep UFOs.
Yeah.
I do believe like the US government play into that to kind of like cover it up a little bit. Again, it's like they got caught with something and someone's wrongfully assumed what's going on, and so they're like, oh yeah, sure, why not, kind of dropping enough hints because they don't want people to, they don't want for the sake of national security, they don't want their new technology to get out there. Those are conspiracies, I believe.
Yeah, and conspiracy, there are real conspiracy theories, like Jeffrey Epstein being involved with very powerful people.
Yep.
In the higher echelons, like that is basically proven.
Yep.
It's common knowledge. The COVID lab leak that everyone was told they were racist about is like, that's probably where it came from, sort of thing. And I find that really weird, that it's more racist to say it came from China and the lab that they have that researches coronaviruses, but it's not racist to say these people eat bats from a wet market.
I think
okay.
Yeah, it is a weird one. It did feel a little bit like that at the time. I was kind of thinking that because there were like speculations. It started off with like, we think this coronavirus, this one specifically, originated in China, and then people were like, oh, I remember people called it the Chinese virus, which is like, okay, yeah, maybe don't do that.
Yeah, that is a bit racist.
But yeah,
like kind of not wanting to go near Chinese people because you think they might have the virus is also a bit racist.
Yeah, that's fucked. It did get a little bit like kind of, there was a point of like, oh, we just don't talk about where it came from. And it's like, well, I think if it came from like a Western country like France or Germany, we probably would have,
Yep.
If it was like a French virus where there's white people around and quite a lot of them, we probably would have been like, oh yeah, there's the fucking French virus or whatever. But so I'm just scrolling JP's Insta for no particular reason.
Are you still screen?
Yeah. It's for the viewers.
Oh, you did that the other day with your YouTube video, didn't you? You were talking about random stuff and then you had training footage on the side of it. But like the autistic ADHD people that just can't focus on one thing at once.
Just keep people engaged.
My YouTube video got 500 views last week.
Huh?
My YouTube video got 500 views last week.
Oh, go on, lad. Yeah, you do well on viewers, don't you, on YouTube?
Decent. I need to post more. I just don't have the fucking time to edit them all. Like,
yeah, it is long.
I was doing every week, and I had to taper it back. I'm doing like once every 2 weeks now.
Oh, what's you asked me about anniversary. What's a conspiracy theory you believe?
Um, there's not one that springs to mind. I've got a funny joke that I saw about the Epstein thing, though. There's a picture of him and Ghislaine Maxwell with the Pope, shaking hands with the Pope. And someone commented underneath it, "Oh no, people who are going to associate the Catholic Church with pedophiles now." That got me. That got me good. And then the Pope died. Was it yesterday he died?
Yeah.
Yeah. And someone said to me, do you know how they pick the new Pope? And I'm like, no, I guess they just sort of get a bunch of people in a room, get the leaderboards out of who's touched the most kids, and whoever's got the highest score wins, right? That's what I assumed happened, but apparently not. Apparently that's not the process.
We're gonna get in shit from the fucking Catholic Church, brother.
Yeah, we're gonna get cancelled.
We're lose some Catholic.
I think so, like with a lot of them, it's back to the lime scale mind thing is where they keep all the records. Like the sort of people that do this, is it more likely that there's a bunch of fucking malevolent actors in the government that are able to orchestrate all of this shit? Yeah, sure, there's going to be some people like that, for sure. There will be. But most of them are idiots, and it's way more likely that the thing is just somebody doing something stupid than it is somebody evil, like taking control of everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
agreed.
Is it way more likely that the Titanic was a planned crash, or that somebody just like fucking fell asleep and forgot to check where they were going and crashed into an iceberg before it was too late? Probably that one, right?
Well, it was that they hit an iceberg, the type of metal they used didn't withstand the cold well, and it expands, and then it like breaks its rivets because it expands too much.
Oh, fucking bollocks.
But they also shouldn't. What the fuck is Jamie's arse in? But they also shouldn't have. Remember when Jamie used to compete? But they also shouldn't have like. Yeah.
What guy?
They also shouldn't have. Like I think there was an issue with like navigating or something similar, which kind of was partially the reason for that issue. But yeah, you know. Yeah, I remember Jamie Johal when he used to compete, and then he stopped because he was like, "Oh, it's too political."
Right.
That was weird. Yeah. That
well,
was
he's
weird.
just tall.
What?
He's just tall.
Yeah.
Not ideal. Not ideal. Okay. Back to more fun stuff then. So when was the last time you played Oblivion?
Oh, I definitely had a run through in 2021. Maybe not since.
I think I did in 2023, end of 2024, maybe something like that.
Do you prefer Oblivion or Skyrim?
Oh, mate, that's so tough. I'm gonna say Skyrim just because I have more fond memories of it. I played Oblivion as an adult. I played Skyrim as a kid, so
yeah, I kind of. The thing is, I feel like Skyrim's easier to exhaust. You know, like it's easier to just kind of be like, well, I've kind of mostly done that now. Whereas Oblivion has much more depth to it, and it's much harder to, it's much harder to do everything in it because it's got so much crap. So I kind of, I feel like
in a bad way, just to clarify.
Yeah, no, sorry, in a good way. So I feel like I feel like kind of doing an Oblivion remake will bring a lot more life to Oblivion, because the main issue with Oblivion is that like it's kind of old and kind of rickety.
Yeah, it took me a little while to sort of get the hang of what was going on. It's still playable. It's like Fallout 3. It's still playable for sure. Yeah. But a remake would get way more people interested in it.
Yeah, it needs a new fresh coat.
It's only like the more hardcore fans that have played the newer games and really like them that would be willing to go through the slog of sort of learning the older systems. And it was fine once I was playing it, to be honest. I quite liked it. But yeah, it takes a minute to get the hang of what's going on is the thing.
Yeah. It needs
I was never able to finish the Fighters Guild quest line because I felt like it wasn't really a quest line. It was just like an assortment of random shit.
What, in Oblivion?
You know what I mean? Yeah, it was like it was do like 3 quests that are kind of unrelated here. Then you've got to go and do 3 somewhere else, and you've got to get a certain ranking of shit. And I just got bored of it because there was no overarching thing. The Mages Guild one was really good. I like that.
Yeah.
The Dark Brotherhood I couldn't finish because there was a bug.
Oh no.
It was like one of the dead drops just after. I think it was the dead drop after. We're allowed to do spoilers, right?
Yeah, I'm sure that's fine.
After cleansing the Shaden Hall Sanctuary. And I just couldn't open the dead drop or some shit. And then I don't know if it was a bug or I was just being retarded, but I couldn't do the Thieves Guild one.
Oh, bro.
Like literally, you know, the very first quest where you've got to steal the thing and beat the other people.
Yeah.
Like I think I stole it and then got back there, but then nobody would appear.
The Thieves Guild and the Dark Brotherhood are some of the best in that game. Like Oblivion has some really good quests. Again, I think it just needs to be like modernized a little bit, so it's, you know, a little bit nicer to kind of play with, and less, just less obtuse, because it is just quite obtuse sometimes and weird and difficult. But
yeah. I agree.
Good game though. Fucking good game. I'm excited.
What sort of play style do you think you'll go for this time?
I usually go for magic because Bethesda games, the combat's kind of crap.
Better over time though.
Yeah. Archery sucks in Oblivion. In the original one, it feels very wet.
It's gonna be at least like Skyrim archery.
Hopefully, I don't know.
If it is, then I'll definitely go archery.
It is a remake from the ground up. I don't know. I'm gonna have a play around, but
yeah, it looks like they've completely remade it rather than like just reskinned it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, apparently in the marketing they were saying that it was a complete remake, which is good. I don't want them to just take the old game and then like tweak it from there. Because if they do it, it's just gonna. I think it'd just be too janky and similar, and it'll just kind of play the same. Like I want it to play similar, but yeah. I don't know. I'm trying to find the trailer. Where's the trailer? There's got to be something.
Well, the trailer's not out yet. There's just screenshots.
Lame.
The trailer's probably going to be today, isn't it? But there's so many things that they've worked on over time. Like I think Skyrim's level system is a bit better than Oblivion's.
Yeah.
The way that it worked. But I liked sort of how they expanded on that with in Starfield, where like say you put a point into archery, so you do a bit more damage or you get this extra skill or something like that. In order to unlock the next skill, you need to, like, I don't know, say it was a long shot skill or something like that. So you do an extra 0.5% damage when you shoot from a certain distance. You've then got, in order to unlock the next rank of that, kill 50 people from that distance or whatever it may be, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Rather than it's just you put the perk in it and then you have the thing immediately, because I thought that was a bit wank.
No, I like that. It kind of makes it a little bit more like you feel like you're unlocking things through earning them a bit more than just kind of like obtaining them. I like that element, like a challenge. I think the thing I like about Oblivion is that you can level up so many different things. That's quite cool and quite fun, rather than, you know, in Skyrim you're kind of a bit more linear in what you can do. Like even like your athletic skill in Oblivion, where you can like run and jump and crap.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like that.
I never did Shivering Isles or Knights of the Nine.
Really?
Yeah, because I just had the base game and then I went to buy it one day and I didn't buy it that day. And then they put the price up by like £5 the next day and it just pissed me off. Like FBI agent got me.
Damn.
Yeah.
Oblivion really does have some fucking good quests. It just I'm excited for it to get some more love. I really think if it just like if its mechanics and are improved and it's just like streamlined a little bit, I think it will be the best Elder Scrolls. But it just needs a new coat of paint. But I'm excited to like fall in love with it again and fucking play the shit out of it. Well, as much as I can play the shit out of it. But yeah, exciting. Are we still here? Oh no, is Luke gone? Am I gonna have to fill the fucking airtime? I have to fill the fucking airtime. Oh, brilliant. So while while we wait for Luke to rejoin, I'll run through how my week's been, I guess. It's been there we go, we back. Holy crap, what the fuck just happened?
The Wi-Fi just decided to stop working.
Oh, big moves.
Yeah.
But yeah, mate, any games that you've got like on the horizon that you're kind of looking for?
I'm playing Terraria at the moment again. Did you ever play that?
No, I didn't. My friend bought it for me when I was like, I think I was like 17. So I kind of was like past it a little bit.
It's like 2-day Minecraft, but way better. I think Matty told me to play it again or something like that.
Yeah, I've heard good things. The thing is, it's like, because I know the game's very detailed. The more you get into it, I've played like none of it, so I'm fucking clueless. So that's kind of almost puts me off it a little bit.
It really doesn't hold your hand.
Yeah, but I like honestly now, because like downtime's limited, I kind of want to just like play something I kind of know.
Yeah,
but not like fully inside out. To be fair, like Chloe recently got into Minecraft, so we've been playing Minecraft together. We got a little world, which is really, really nice. Because it's nice to play, because she's fairly new and she hasn't kind of played in a while. So it's nice to be able to like, yeah, it's nice to be able to have a play around and kind of play the game through someone who's very new or doesn't kind of like hasn't played the fuck out of its eyes. But yeah,
mate, I played it like first couple of updates when it first came out. I fucking destroyed that game.
Yeah, same.
I remember I was playing before there was like creative mode.
Oh man, yeah, OG. The thing is, whenever I play Minecraft, I feel like I always play it the same because I've always played it the same for so long. Like I always kind of make like a similar house. I have to challenge myself to try and not play it like in the same way. I'll go and do the same crap and build the same shit, and that's not really what I want.
That's what I always end up doing with Skyrim now whenever you play it.
Yeah, same. And Fallout, like going in to play Fallout, I end up just playing shit how I've always played it, and I have to try and force myself not to do that.
Haven't you only played Fallout 4 though?
Yeah.
Mate, that's actually sacrilege.
I know. I've played
Fallout remaster Fallout 3.
I've played Fallout 3, I've played Fallout 4, and I've played Fallout 1, but I haven't played 2 or New Vegas. The only like top-down one I played was 1. I played like a quarter of 1. I didn't make it that far.
Right.
But yeah.
What was I going to say? Yeah, I always do that with Skyrim. I always end up as a fucking stealth archer. Like,
oh mate, it's hard not to.
I end up as a stealth archer, or I get bored.
Yeah.
Any playlist I've done that isn't that, I just get bored like 15 hours in. I'm like, I can't be asked anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Thing is, I'll get to like a really hard. I'll get to some point that's really, really hard, and then I'll be like, all right, I'll just get the bow and arrow out. That might be a little bit nicer.
Yeah.
But
hot take, but I actually don't like video games being too difficult.
I kind of agree, because
I just like I can't be asked to be like sat there fucking grinding something for ages when I've like had a pretty busy long day. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't want the game to be like, I have to be in a very particular mood. Thing is, when I was younger, like I would play things like Dark Souls and fucking love it. But now I think if I went to play Dark Souls, I would die like 3 or 4 times and then be like, this is too stressful. I want to.
Dark Souls.
I love Dark Souls is so fucking good, but I couldn't play it now. Like I'd need like a week off of like doing anything. I'd need like an extortionate amount of free time to like want to play it. Whereas now it's like you need to have some level of challenge, but I don't want to have all the fucking challenge in the world, you know. Like if I'm like, Minecraft is great because like you can die and there are dangers, but ultimately like it's not too much of an issue. Like I wouldn't like if you played Minecraft with keep inventory on, I'd be like, okay, that's kind of pointless and boring. but having some level of challenge is good. You need to have something, but you also don't want it to be like fucking impossible. Same way that like Bethesda games are pretty good because there's some enemies that you're like, okay, I'll just dodge them. Like in Skyrim, with like when you're early on and you see giants, you can just not go for them.
Yeah, then you go and one-shot them when you're a sick stealth archer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like you can kind of pick and choose what you do, or you can just be like, well, I'm not going to do that quest. I'll do another quest or whatever. So yeah, I'm all for that.
So I think playing Oblivion, you're going to have to title this episode like Conspiracies, Oblivion, and shit form.
Aliens are real. Oblivion is real. Oblivion is coming out. I don't know. Fucking what else? Dr.
I'm gonna make a prediction that Oblivion's out by the time people are listening to this podcast. I trust him. I think he's going to release it today.
Damn.
Yes. So I really liked the old Magic system where you could have shit in your hands and just cast the spell.
Yeah.
Because but then also at the same time it kind of incentivized you to not be pure magic because you're like then just wasting shit in your hands, aren't you? So, which is kind of annoying. But I think if I'll probably go stealthy because I played the other Oblivion as like pure melee.
Fair.
So it's a bit different, and it would just give me Skyrim vibes. But literally, if it's basically like Skyrim mechanics with Oblivion story, it will be better than Skyrim.
Yeah, I agree.
And this is 10 years later, so it like the mechanics should be better as well.
Yeah,
I'd like some sort of block counter attack type of thing. Now I know it's not that type of game, but I think it would be cool to have in there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. You don't even need like good graphics. Like the graphics don't matter. It's just mechanics. Like I think when people hear like a remake, they're gonna be focused on the graphic. The graphics are fine. It's a little like plasticky, but it's fine. It's just how weird everything feels. Everything feels very floaty and airy. But yeah, that's my opinion on Oblivion after like an hour of talking.
Mate, I think that's fair.
Yeah,
I think that's fair. Should we leave it there?
We've hit a natural conclusion. This is crazy.
We have, mate. Mate. The holy trinity of podcasting today. We touched on conspiracy theories, video games, and like 5 minutes of fitness shit.
If you guys want us to talk more about or if you want us to talk more about fitness or less about fitness, let us know if you've got a preference, and we shall do as according.
I think it's going to be less fitness.
Yeah, probably agreed. I think that's probably what most people are gonna want. Anyway, if you want to get coached by Luke, he is at.
I've got a quick tip for everyone. When you're cooking your beef mince or your chicken mince, okay, slap it in the pan and leave it to cook for like 5 minutes so it kind of burns on the outside, and then flip it over to the other side and it gets like loads of extra flavor. It's really nice.
Wow. Yeah. Well, there you go, guys. Hot quick tip.
That's the kind of information that the people come here for.
Nice. Even. What the fuck is wrong with me? Just said 9. Right, my brain's panic. I better get in meal 2 and go train, I guess. Anyway, it's coaching. It's Luke is at LacticAddictLuke on Instagram, or you want PT, Luke is available. If you want to get coached by me, get some education as well. It's at Jack_Archer Academy. Like the podcast, follow the podcast, Spotify, YouTube, and Instagram.
Send us your Oblivion characters.
Oh my god, please do. Yeah. Everyone tell us how you're playing through the new Oblivion. Jesus Christ, yes, that would be fucking great. I'd love that. All right, we'll end the recording there. Thanks, everyone. See you.